So, before we start delving into the new and improved exalted weapons, there's one more thing I want to check out. The EFV-5 Jupiter, because it just looks sick. Look at it. Now, this is a fully automatic primary rifle that requires mastery rank 14, does primarily puncture and slash damage, but it also has a tiny splash of corrosive on top. It sports a 21% crit chance, a 2.3 times crit multiplier, and a 25% status chance. And it also has a secondary charged buckshot mode that consumes 15 rounds, though only has a multi-shot of 11 for some reason. And this is a really strong, very short-ranged shotgun blast. All the bits and bobs you need for this can be purchased from a spoiler in Holovania, so that's pretty much all I'm going to say. So let's give it a shot, shall we? Oh, I love the way this looks. All the Skulldraw weapons have such a tremendous aesthetic. A rather interesting trait indeed. So we have like a shotgun mode on the secondary. Dear God, that's really short range. The damage is really high though. So clean. Loving the rhythm on the fire rate. Very nice, just about right. I can't tell whether it's a hit scan weapon or not. What about the buckshot? Oh, bloody 15 rounds? There's a bit of kick to it as well. Don't know why, but this definitely feels like a deadhead kind of gun. We could go with Crux as well. That would work too. But for some reason, I'm just feeling deadhead. Galvanized chin, but I think we actually run all three on this one. Let's get aptitude and scope. It's a bit of a shame the corrosive is so low. Like, that's not gonna proc at all. It's gonna be minuscule chance. Yeah, 5.2%. Vital sense for some crit damage. I do like the idea of corrosive on this, so let's bump it up. Eventually, we definitely want to go with primed cryo rounds, but for now, cold. Rime rounds will have to do. What? Is this... Did I forget Steel Path? Did I actually? I most certainly did not. Wowee. That's really good damage. Look at that. That's Steel Path. Level 100. Well, to be fair, it is Grenier. Grenier are weak to corrosive, but still. I don't like the simulacrum. It's weird. Well, let's see what I do with the boy then, I guess. Yep, definitely want to go with the vital on this one. Let's actually switch to Autokin so they're not weak to our main damage type. This thing absolutely shreds, and we're still missing like a mod and a half as well. That is lovely. Color me impressed. This is definitely one of them feels good guns. You know, kind of like the Karak. It's nice and clean. It feels good to use. Nice fire rate. Just good all around. Wowee, that was an absolute treat. I'm loving this. Let's get a D for the cryo rounds. There we go. We will lose a little bit of status, but yep, we gain an absolute truck ton of damage. Also, let's not forget about aptitude. This should be the last forma. 2 Vs, 2 Ds, pretty standard nowadays for primaries. I don't know if we stick with it, but I think magnetic capacity is actually going to be quite nice here. This way we can shred shields and overguards in addition to armor, which I think works really well with the puncture cold combo, which increases crit chance and crit damage respectively, so it's like a neat little setup. Pretty basic setup, you know? It's not much, but it's honest work. I love how clean this is. There's no over-the-top effects, no crazy mechanics, you just point it at a thing and the thing dies. The only thing that's bothering me a little bit is the reload. It's somewhat long, but then again, you know, the magazine is rather large, so it's not like it's the worst thing in the world, just a little annoyance. Get pew-pewed. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Sit down. That's pretty good.
Krakata.
Hell, buckshot hitting like a goddamn truck over here. Now I really want to buckshot an acolyte in the face. I have a sneaking suspicion that people will overlook this a little bit because, you know, no explosions, no AoE, no fanfare. But this right here, this is a goddamn banger. Get buckshot. Oh. Aw, it gets absolutely ruined by attenuation, now I'm sad. I don't know about you, but I am having a lovely time over here. This is great. The addition of magnetic, by the way, was most certainly the right choice. It absolutely destroys overguard on Eximus units. Feels great. I just want to have more fun with this, so let's go bully some shield boys. Unsurprisingly, the added magnetic damage is absolutely tremendous versus the shield boys. I know this might be considered sacrilege by some, but I would genuinely use this over some of the Coda weapons. Don't get me wrong, the Coda stuff is great, but this is such a cool gun. I was about to say I love everything about it. That's not true. I don't like the reload. The reload could do better. At this point, I have nothing else to say. I'm just enjoying some good old pew-pew. Good stuff. So, here's what I ended up liking the most on the EFV-5 Jupiter. We have Galvanized Chamber for multi-shot, Galvanized Scope for crit chance, Vital Sense for crit damage, Galvanized Aptitude for status chance and condition overload, and then we run a bunch of elements. We have Magnetic Capacity for magazine size and magnetic damage, Primed Cryo Rounds for a track ton of cold damage, as well as Malignant Force and High Voltage to bolster the corrosive damage and gain some extra status. This way we end up with corrosive, cold and magnetic, which is a lovely combination of elements that deals with the vast majority of enemies very well. Now for the arcane we have Primary Deadhead for some easy to stack base damage, as well as some headshot multiplier and recoil reduction, but you could just as easily go with Primary Cracks, that way you wouldn't have to reload as much and you would get more status chance, or you could go with Frostbite for some crit damage and multi-shot. Primary Cracks would be particularly nice on a buckshot setup to reduce the ammo consumption. Additionally, just like any other corrosive setup, Emerald Archon shards on your frame are absolutely huge because they will increase the number of corrosive procs you can have on the enemy, allowing you to strip all of their armor with corrosion alone. This doesn't have as much of an effect as it used to, but it's still quite noticeable. And finally, a good priming pet is always a massive boon. I'm running a Hound, Good Boy Harrow that primes cold, vital, impact, puncture, heat, radiation and magnetic. This provides loads of extra damage through condition overload, as well as all the benefits from the status effects. Like seriously, if you don't have a good priming Hound, get one. These things can clear Steel Path on their own. The EFV-5 Jupiter might not be the flashiest or even the strongest weapon in the game, but it is absolutely worth picking up. It's one of those comfy, clean guns that might be somewhat boring in another game, but in Warframe, where we have arm cannons and actual cannons and all manner of nonsense, it's actually quite unique and refreshing. It's one of those guns that will just get the job done without any faff and nonsense. So yes, I would absolutely recommend you give it a shot. And please, do play around with different setups as well. A setup with Prime Tread might be really cool. I didn't want to do it because I really like the rhythm of the fire rate. Or if you don't mind doing a more damage over time oriented setup, a 100 munitions vital setup could be really strong too. So definitely play around with different setups as well. Don't think of my builds as the be all and end all of builds. That's nonsense, right? If you would rather run something else, just do it. I build things in a very particular way. I don't necessarily care about the most damage being done. I mostly care about extracting the maximum amount of enjoyment that I can. But anyway, that's pretty much all I have for you today, so I thank you very much for watching, as always guys, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. Then, I would also like to extend a special thank you to all the channel members. Thank you very much guys, I really appreciate your support. It means a lot to me. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.